Welcome back, everyone. If you're a fan of the obscure and terrifying like I am, this video today is one you're not going to want to miss. We're diving into the world of the SCP Foundation, focusing on a chilling entity that's tied to the darkest aspects of holiday traditions. I'm talking about SCP-4666, also known as the Yule Man, a creature that is anything but festive. So, grab a cup of something warm and your hiding blankie, because this entity is something sinister. I'm Cora Poe, and this is Slumber Myth, a place for insomnia fuel. Before we dive into the Yule Man's disturbing story, let's get some things straight about the online and gaming phenomenon, the SCP Foundation. If you're new to this concept, welcome. I would like to apologize because this is something that I'm exposing you to that is worthy of obsession, and that's currently what I am dealing with. The SCP Foundation is a secret organization tasked with containing and securing anomalies, anything that defies natural laws of science. Some SCPs are harmless, and others are incredibly dangerous, and many are just bizarre as hell. This science fiction horror concept exists like a creepypasta chain story, growing exponentially by creative contributions by thousands of people around the world. It also has taken the form of many video games, dating all the way back to about 2012. For example, a game called SCP Containment Breach is an indie horror video game that controls a test subject, D-9341, who is a man trapped underground in an SCP Foundation facility designed to study and contain anomalous entities. And the player is meant to escape in the midst of a breach of one of these entities. Follow the link in the cards to an SCP game tier list if you enjoyed hearing about SCP games. There's a bunch out there, and the video I linked is, I think, really funny and informative, so check it out, because those games look delightfully terrifying. Now here's an introduction to the SCP Foundation as stated on the SCP Wiki. I'm just going to read it right off for you guys. This is the SCP Foundation, a collaborative writing site based around the premise that, in essence, magic is real. It's not exactly like the traditional fantasy-style magic you've come to know, but that's the best way we can really describe the stuff we have here. Anomalies, items and critters that don't follow the rules of nature as we know them, staircases that go forever, mechanical gods from the beginning of time, otherwise regular humans who reshape reality with their minds. These are the kinds of things that, if known to the public, could cause mass hysteria and start wars on scales unprecedented. Due to that, there exists an organization called the SCP Foundation, whose job it is to protect humanity from the dark horrors. But today, we're discussing what, in my opinion, is one of the most unsettling SCPs out there. And it takes a lot to get under my skin. One that is found deep in the annals of the multinational collaborative writing phenomenon that has stolen this spooky freaking geek's heart. This particular SCP is so disturbing that I really want to warn viewers, and the following content is not for children, despite most of it concerning children. And if you yourself have young kids, I genuinely recommend that you turn this off, because it's horrifying, and imagining like this kind of thing happening to your own kid, even though it's fictional, is really hard. So if you have young kids, seriously, I don't need the views. Turn the video off now. SCP-4666 overview. SCP-4666 has the classification of Keter. In the organization, this means that he is still active, at large, and uncontained. Known as the Yule Man, he is a humanoid creature that appears during the winter months, specifically around Christmas. However, unlike Santa, the gifts the Yule Man leaves are far from inspiring comfort and joy. In fact, it's really quite dark. The toys left behind during what the SCP Foundation has dubbed Weissnacht events, or White Night in German, have been found to be made of child remains. Descriptions of the Yule Man's anatomy report the entity as standing unnaturally tall, completely naked, in the body of an impossibly old man that is emaciated. The SCP states it is between 2 and 2.3 meters or 6.5 to 7.5 feet tall. It's said to be capable of appearing anywhere in the Northern Hemisphere and possibly anywhere in the world via instantaneous or near instantaneous travel. All recorded Weissnacht events have occurred in locations around the world above north 20 degrees latitude. His active phase is a 12 consecutive day period ranging from the 21st or 22nd of December through the 1st or 2nd of January. But we'll dive into his activity patterns in a minute. The Yule Man's origin and nature. Now, the Yule Man's origins are murky at best. The Foundation doesn't have a concrete statement about where he's from and why he is the way he is, but it's kind of believed that the Yule Man was actually once a joyful gift giver, not unlike our dear Santa Claus, giving gifts that inspired joy, but it's hypothesized that due to an unknown traumatic, tragic event, most likely related to a betrayal or terrible loss, it twisted SCP-4666 into the horrific entity that it is today. The true reason behind SCP-4666's actions is ambiguous, which in my opinion adds to the terror. SCP-4666's behavior and impact. What is truly the most disturbing aspect of SCP-4666's existence is his wintry ritual of abducting children during the holidays after torturing their families before their eyes. Here's the SCP site's exact reported patterns of Weissnacht events, which consist of the following general progression.
Nights 1 to 7. Children will report seeing SCP-4666 in the vicinity of their family's dwelling. The entity will typically be observed watching the dwelling from a distance, such as from across a nearby field or from the edge of a neighboring forest. In some cases, children will report waking up at night to find SCP-4666 watching them sleep through a window. Nights 8 to 11. Family members, including the parents, will report sounds of footsteps coming from the roof or the attic. An extremely unpleasant odor will also frequently be noticed inside the dwelling. No cause for these phenomena will be found. As a result, parents will often begin to suspect that their family is being stalked, or even that their dwelling might be haunted. Night 12. During the night, one of two scenarios will occur. The first, and most common, is that SCP-4666 will kill all members of the family save for one child under the age of 8, whom it will abduct. SCP-4666 will inflict incapacitating injuries to family members while they are sleeping, then herd them into a single room of the dwelling where it will proceed to kill them in view of each other. The method of killing varies with the event and will typically be preceded by some form of torture, which appears to serve a ritualistic purpose. See Weissnacht events log below. In the second scenario, which has occurred in roughly 15% of known Weissnacht events, SCP-4666 will not harm the family. Family members will report hearing footsteps inside their dwelling during the night, though no signs of forced entry will be found. In the morning, children will discover presents at the foot of their beds. These will consist of toys crudely crafted from the remains of human children. See SCP-4666-A instances log below. The criteria, if any, by which SCP-4666 determines the outcome of a Weissnacht event are unknown.
And here's an example of SCP-4666's disturbing work, as told by a short-lived survivor of a Weissnacht event.
Addendum 4666-1. On the 2nd of January, 2018, several SCP-4666-A instances were discovered at a family's residence in Hoona, Alaska, following the conclusion of Weissnacht event number 060198. Among these instances was SCP-4666-A-0960, which consisted of a crude, life-sized doll made from the emaciated body of a female child, to which the following modifications had been made. A dress made from various pieces of dirty, discolored clothing had been sewn around the body, and in several places, into the body's skin. The mouth had been sewn shut with thread made from human tendons, and the lips painted red with a solution consisting primarily of human blood. The fingernails of another child had been glued over the body's fingernails with pine resin. These had been painted red with the same human blood-based solution. 3 of the body's fingers were missing. The entire scalp had been removed from the head, and the scalp of another child with long, blonde hair sewn onto the head in its place. The hair had been tied into 2 braids. Both eyes had been removed, and 2 large round pebbles on which eyes had been crudely painted placed into the empty orbits. Upon examination by the family, the child from whom the doll had been made was found to be still alive, albeit unconscious. Authorities were notified, and the child was airlifted to Bartlett Regional Hospital in Juneau, Alaska, where she survived for 18 hours. 2 Foundation agents were dispatched and were able to interview the subject. See interview log below. Following the subject's death, her body was confiscated by the agents, and all witnesses amnesticized as per standard procedure. DNA testing revealed the subject had been Ekaterina Morozova, age 7, a known abduction victim of SCP-4666 taken from her family's residence in Dubovka, Russia on the 2nd of January, 2016. Autopsy of the subject's body showed she had been severely malnourished during the 2 years following her abduction, which had resulted in considerable stunting. Weight was only 15 kilograms, height was only 90 centimeters. A number of scars and burns were present on her skin, and she had suffered 2 bone fractures, left tibia and left ulna, that had not been reset and had healed improperly. Hands were heavily calloused. Cause of death was attributed to multiple organ failure resulting from severe, sustained malnourishment. Audio log 4666-06201. Date: the 2nd of January, 2018. Time: 23:27 Alaska Standard Time to 23:49 Alaska Standard Time. Location: Bartlett Regional Hospital, Juneau, Alaska. Interviewers: Agent Antony Kowalczyk, Agent Susan Muse attending. Subject: Ekaterina Morozova, SCP-4666A0960, female, age 7. Notes: the subject regained consciousness for a period of roughly 30 minutes prior to expiring, during which she was interviewed. Hospital staff had previously removed the thread that had been sewn into her lips, allowing her to speak. Despite having been administered a morphine drip, the subject was largely coherent throughout the interview. The subject did not understand English, and initially spoke only a language that was unfamiliar to Agents Kowalczyk and Muse. 3. However, after several minutes the subject began addressing the agents in Russian, which she spoke poorly. Agent Kowalczyk, who spoke rudimentary Russian, was able to conduct the interview without the need for an interpreter. Begin log. Agent Kowalczyk: hello, I'm Antony. What's your name? EM: are you going to take me back to him? Agent Kowalczyk: no, I promise. I'm just here to talk to you. EM: pauses: I don't want to go back. Agent Kowalczyk: you don't have to, you're safe now, Mishka. EM: remains silent. Agent Kowalczyk: can you tell me what happened to you? Do you remember the night he came to your house? EM: I remember. He hurt Mama and Papa and Kotia and Yuliana for a long time and they were bleeding. After they stopped screaming, he put me in his bag. Agent Kowalczyk: his bag? He had a big bag. Other children were in the bag too. I think we go to other houses. I hear people screaming outside the bag all during the night. Each house he put another child in the bag. Then after the night he take us away. Agent Kowalczyk: where did he take you? E.M: underground. Unknown word: deep. Agent Kowalczyk: underground? You mean in a basement? EM: deep, everything earth and mud and ice. Bones everywhere. Everything cold. I can't sleep because it's too cold. Agent Kowalczyk: were there lots of other children there with you? EM: lots of children, lots of tunnels, lots of holes, but I can't see all. I can't see the other, unknown word. Too dark. My hole is with Renee and Hekla and Sasha and Paul. We make the toys together. Agent Kowalczyk, the toys? EM, if you don't make the toys, you don't eat. Don't stop making the toys, don't fall asleep. Or he hurt you. Agent Kowalczyk, he hurts you? How? EM, he hit you, or he burn you, or he bite off your fingers, or he cook you on the fire in his room and eat you. He eats Philippe and Sally. Agent Kowalczyk, what about you? How did this happen to you? Did he do this? EM, pauses, Renee and Hekla and Sasha and Paul do this. They have to. Agent Kowalczyk, why? EM, I get sick. When you can't make the toys, you become the toys.
The Foundation has been aware of SCP-4666 since 1974, and it's considered an immediate global threat. SCP-4666's 12-day active period is a time to stay vigilant. Should you suspect the slightest hint of his odd stalking behaviors, like seeing a man in the distance unmoving near your home, footsteps in the attic that you've never heard before, or if a child complains that a scary old man is pressing his face up against their window, here's what you gotta do to increase your chances of survival. Tell the police. Tell the police. Post about it online. Tell your friends, family members, tell your doctors. The Foundation actively tracks police reports and social media during this time for any trace of his stalking behaviors, tracks that activity to identify any possible targets of the Yule Man in an attempt to limit the amount of families impacted by this creature. Any and all identified targets will be hidden at the nearest SCP facility and then given amnestics to make them forget about the encounter afterward. Unfortunately, because of the Yule Man's ability to seemingly teleport, containment is difficult and has been attempted but never successful. The SCP's attempts to protect families proactively improves with each passing year. Theories and speculation. There are a few theories about the Yule Man's true nature. Some believe that he's a manifestation of ancient winter spirits, beings tied to the cold, darkness, and cruelty of winter. Others think he's some kind of interdimensional predator, only appearing through that time of year when a rift in our reality opens. And there's also the idea that the Yule Man could be an embodiment of human guilt, feeding off negative energy and punishing adults, in turn all of humanity, because of the way they've lied and lived greedily or unsustainably. Thus, he takes away their future, their children. So that's just a theory, but I think it certainly fits the creature's behavior. All feels like a cruel punishment, that's to be sure. Concluding remarks on SCP-4666, the Yule Man. So, as we enjoy our holiday season, just remember, not all winter traditions are as sweet and jolly as they seem. The Yule Man is out there, watching, stalking, waiting for the time when its horrible ritual can begin again. So if you find yourself in 4666's path, well, I doubt you'll live to see another Christmas. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found this video fascinating, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more science fiction and horror stories from film, literature, and the bountiful internet. I will definitely be doing more videos on the SCP Foundation in the future. If there are any SCPs you would like to see declassified, please let me know in the comments. Until next time, stay safe and pray that the Yule Man never targets your family. So, happy holidays and happy nightmares.